G'day guys, welcome back to Two Hard Tracks, and today we are actually back for a video to take you through the updates. I'm going to show you what I've got in the back now and tell you a little bit of future planning. Let's get into it. Righto, so obviously you open it up, looks much the same as it used to, but we have something extra down this end. That is a mounted compressor. Very cool to be able to inflate your own tyres without having to pull anything out. You just have to pull hoses out and just plug it in and turn it on. It's absolutely cracker. Anyway, on top of that, the biggest upgrade I've done is the 100 amp hour lithium battery from Hardcore. That has improved the life of my batteries by a lot. It's just been incredible to be able to have this big 70 litre fridge running all the time, and honestly, right now it's only at 71%. Like, it's using next to nothing, and that's been in for weeks now. So beside that, I have got a couple more things that I've put in. I've put in a inverter, a 600 watt inverter from Hardcore, and I've also put in a AC/DC charger to be able to charge the battery while we're pulled up in camp. That's just super handy to have, like if we go on a big long holiday and the sun's beaming down and the fridge is getting hot and it's running pretty much all day because it's hot. Plug it in at the end of the day and just have it all sorted and all charged. The inverter I haven't used very much, to be completely honest, as of yet. However, it's also pretty cool because I've actually built up a little front panel to be able to put cords into the inverter without having to pull the boxes apart and make it all happen. But other than that, it's all pretty well the same up the back. However, up the front, just recently I got a ARB air locker put in the front diff, which I tell you what, in the next video, you will see the front locker in use, and I tell you what, it was incredible. It's a completely different car to drive. I just love it, and if you don't have lockers, you definitely need to. They're so good. Anyway, you'll have to tune in a fortnight's time. It is an awesome video, and I hope you tune in for that one. So, we'll get back to what we're talking about, and that is the inverter and the charger. So, as I mentioned, we have an inlet for the 240 volt charger, the AC/DC charger, and we've got an outlet for our inverter, so we don't have to pull this up, which is where the inverter and the charger sit. And obviously, as I mentioned, the battery is in there where the other battery was, which makes it really handy because it's just all there and all sorted. Actually, that reminds me. So as you can see, we have an inverter switch, a remote inverter switch that turns the inverter on inside the back box there, so you can just plug in straight away. I put it in there so it's out of the way, so it's not getting hit by stuff because the fridge sits right next to it. And yeah, it's just super handy to have that there and be able to turn the inverter on and off and not have to pull anything apart. Super handy. So as I'm sure you would have noticed as well, because I didn't mention it, I've actually put lights inside the canopy. I put one up here. I've also put one down in the canopy just for a bit of internal lighting for when we're camping. We can see what we're doing when we're cooking our dinner. We can see what we're trying to grab from inside the back, and yeah, it just makes it a whole lot easier. Camping experience is so much easier with having lights inside your car. One of the only other things I've done to the car is the in-cab switching. So in the roof console, there's a pass-through for the UHF, there's a compressor switch and a front locker switch. As I mentioned before, front locker in the Hilux now, which is absolutely amazing. So other than that, there's pretty much nothing else that's new in the car. There is some future plans, obviously, but that's just where we're at the moment. As I'm sure you would have noticed, there's a lot of Hardcore gear in my car, and I just want to talk about that really quickly. So the Hardcore gear is really good quality gear for the fact of its price range. Like, it's sort of that halfway point between, you know, that brand and like Red Arc and those high quality brands. It's that sort of medium point where you've got good quality gear, but it's not super expensive. And that's what I love about Hardcore stuff. It's just so good and it's so affordable. And I just wanted to let you know that Hardcore gear is actually top notch, and you should also check out their gear and get some for your own rig. So as I'm sure you would have seen in a little clip just here, actually a Hardcore 40 amp DC/DC battery as well that I also didn't mention before. So previously I had an XTM DC to DC charger and it failed. It didn't really work almost at all when I had my deep cycle battery instead of lithium, and it just didn't want to run. It didn't want to charge the battery. So obviously I decided to upgrade it to a hardcore, and it worked instantaneously. It was so easy to wire up, and I just absolutely love the fact that it's so easy and affordable. So as you saw before, we actually have an onboard compressor now, which makes it super handy to inflate your tires and be able to activate the front locker and potentially a rear locker shortly. Other than that, with the TJM compressor, you can actually get a hose kit as well as a inflator, which makes it really simple to be able to inflate your tires from this chuck here. So that's super handy. And also on the compressor, I also put in a little 12-volt fan, which is activated by this switch here to be able to remove the hot air from around the compressor when you're inflating your tires. Righto guys, that wraps up today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, by the way, before you do leave, there's another video coming next fortnight, and I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek right here. As I said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you out on the Too Hard track. See ya.